3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
M1D propulsion is nominal.
Plus 40 seconds, everything looking good? That's the call out, says M1D engines are throttling down, getting ready to reduce vehicle acceleration in preparation for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the bottom of the throttle bucket, as they call it. Now the Merlin engines coming back up to full power as we get ready to go supersonic.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Supersonic, we're coming through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Guidance engineer confirms we're through the period of greatest pressure on the vehicle. Continuing downrange, trajectory looks good. Propulsion looks good. Avionics looks good.
MVAC-D chill has started.
That announcement from stage 2 propulsion. We are now beginning to chill in the turbo pump on the upper stage engine to get ready for its ignition coming up in about 45 seconds. Nice view from the SpaceX cameras at Cape Canaveral as we head east out of Space Launch Complex 40 into the first of 2 orbits planned for today. This orbit is the parking orbit, a low Earth orbit trajectory that will take us over the equator and will eventually relight the upper stage engine to transfer us into the desired geostationary transfer orbit. Now main engine cutoff, or MECO, coming up in several seconds, followed by pneumatic separation. The first stage pushes away from the second stage, and then ignition of the second stage engine.
Stage separation confirmed.
MECO on time. Stage sep looks good. And the call out MVAC-D engine is at full power. The view on the left screen, you can see the large titanium grid fins now slowly opening. That begins about a 2-minute period as we slowly rotate the first stage around to get it ready to come back through the atmosphere and land on the drone ship in the Atlantic off the east coast of Florida. Right-hand side, second stage engine glowing red. That's normal for the MVAC-D.
Trajectory.
Trajectory is nominal, we've heard from the guidance engineer. Great views coming from space. We're coming up on fairing deploy.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And we've heard the call out from the avionics engineer. Fairing separation is confirmed. I think you can see in the background behind the MVAC-D nozzle, one half of the fairing way in the distance as it went past the camera. So right now we're coming up 4 minutes into flight. Trajectory is looking excellent. We're right down the middle of the road. Power on the upper stage engine is good. Bermuda is now getting the telemetry from the Falcon 9, and we're getting great views from space at T plus 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
For those of you just joining us, we had a successful liftoff of our Falcon 9 rocket at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Cape Canaveral. On the right-hand side of your screen, our second stage, its engine is glowing as we continue to take the ANASIS-II satellite payload to its desired orbit. On the left-hand side, our first stage. We're beginning our recovery attempt on our drone ship out in the Atlantic Ocean. The next milestones coming up include that first stage's entry burn, followed by the second stage engine cutoff, known as SECO 1, the first stage landing burn, and then that hopeful landing. The entry burn will occur at about 6.5 minutes after liftoff. And what you don't see pictured here are those two fairing halves. They've been jettisoned, and it will take some time for them to get down to sea level. So we won't be covering on the webcast that recovery attempt status, but stay tuned on social media for updates. You see some pretty clear pictures of Earth there. The first stage has reached apogee. It's beginning to head down there. We're only going to be firing 3 of our Merlin engines during this entry burn in order to slow the vehicle down before it gets to the thicker parts of Earth's atmosphere. It'll slow the vehicle by about 25%. When we perform stage separation, that first stage was traveling about 2.5 kilometers per second, so we have a lot of velocity to reduce.
Great.
And we're just under 30 seconds from that entry burn beginning. It's going to last about 24 seconds. We're 10 seconds away from entry burn. Hopefully we'll be able to hear that call out and have visual confirmation that burn's begun.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
Our entry burn has begun. You'll see that, the exhaust there will grow and start to become elliptical as we turn on the engines. The center engine fires first, the 2 side engines fire shortly after that. So that exhaust will seem to grow during this burn.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
All right, 1 burn down, 1 to go. That's the landing burn. It'll occur in about 1 minute from now, along with the next milestone, the second stage engine cutoff, or SECO 1. That'll be at T plus 8 minutes, 7 seconds. During SECO 1, we shut down the second stage MVAC engine on the right-hand side of the screen.
Also signal first stage, Cape Canaveral, expected.
In about 25 seconds after SECO 1, Falcon 9 will touch down, hopefully, on our drone ship. Just read the instructions. Currently, it's in the Atlantic, about 350 nautical miles off the coast of Florida.
Start of terminal guidance.
And in terms of velocity of that first stage, drag alone is slowing the first stage down another 80%. That landing burn will take us back to get that last 20%, touch us down safely. Just under 10 seconds from landing burn and SECO 1.
SECO.
Stage 1, landing burn startup.
We have confirmation of both landing burn and SECO 1. We're waiting confirmation of a good orbital insertion for that ANASIS-II satellite. And the landing
Stage 1.
Also landing laser deploying now.
Nominal park orbit insertion.
And there it is. That is our 57th successful landing by Falcon 9 on our drone ship. Just read the instructions. While we were watching that landing, we also had confirmation of nominal orbit insertion. We're all pretty excited over here at SpaceX for being able to use this first stage for a 3rd time coming up. But going back to our primary mission on the second stage, it's going to coast for about 18 minutes until we cross the equator, where we perform the second of 2 burns of the upper stage to help change the orbit. We're going to take a break until then. We're going to leave you with a map of where we are in the mission. We'll be back at about T plus 26 minutes for the second burn of our MVAC engine.
Also signal Bermuda as expected.